Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining. Oh, I think this is my clicker. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about my adventures in startup land. It was challenging, as Miha just indicated. So let's talk about that startup. As mentioned, it was Attentively, and Attentively's whole idea was how can we take technology that's in wide use in corporate marketing and tailor it, customize it, get it at a price point where nonprofits, causes, campaigns can also take advantage of it. So it was a combination of social listening, of influencer engagement, and marketing automation. So, and in a world where an online influencer has translated that influence into becoming president of the United States, I think that we were prescient in saying, look, this is something that nonprofits and civic tech need to pay attention to. So this was our team. We were founded in 2012. We had Vision Strategy, our digital agency, and we greenhoused a startup and spun it out. This was our team. As you can see, it's more chick-tastic than brosif, and that was on purpose. We really wanted to create a company, a 21st century company that was a safe and comfortable place for both female and male technologists to feel like they could make a difference in their daily work. Even though we never got super huge, we had a huge impact. And these are just some of the mentions that we got. We had a lot of amazing clients who had great results, magical results with the tool. We won some awards for the cutting edge nature of our work. But what had happened was, okay, because startups are hard, hence the title of this book. And it's called Mechanical Bull because it's a real ride, okay? And part of the trick is just staying on that Bronco until it bucks you. But it's different when ladies ride, okay? It's absolutely different when ladies ride. When a man rides, you're looking at his strength, his stamina, right? His strategy. When a woman rides, everyone's waiting for a boob to pop out, okay? Like let's all be honest about the situation. And so, what we found in, seeing products, we had this great idea, we could see that there was an opportunity to help causes reach audiences in both their email and their social universe, and we saw some of our peers in the space launching companies, and we were like, well, so-and-so is not smarter than us, and they're not less hardworking. How hard could this be? Let's go out and get funding. They did it. Well, what we didn't know, thank God, at the time was that only 2% of venture capital goes to women. Still, it's better than it was in 2012, but it's still not awesome. And the amount of money that goes to Black female founders of tech startups is still statistically zero. Okay, I am one of a handful of Black women in American history who have raised over $2 million in seed capital. And that has to change, right? Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. There's more, but so all startups look like this, especially at the end. You can see the struggle at the end. And, Ben, it's hard for a, cisgender, heteronormative white guy. Ben is going to talk to you about that, his struggle in a minute. But I guarantee you, okay, it was a whole other kind of a ride for us, but it was worth it. It was very difficult, and the only thing I can imagine and know to be more difficult is being now the parent of a toddler. But thank you. Yes, parenting is real. I'm really proud of the impact that we had through our entrepreneurship. So a few things happened. One, we show that you can invest in a female-led, including our CTO startup, and investors can make money and make a difference. Attentively is also the first tech startup, as far as we know, with a Black female founder on board to be acquired by a NASDAQ company. So that happened, was in 2016, thank you. And even better, we were an impact startup that was acquired by an impact corporation. Blackbaud is a leading provider of nonprofit software. We proved that a new economy that looks like that is possible. And we encourage CRMs. We actually moved technology in the space. Most of the CRMs in the civic tech space adopted some aspects of our software, which was in part why we did it. And finally, we had a secret agenda, which was to encourage large organizations to understand the new power of online influencers who have their own audiences, often and usually bigger than your average cause or candidate, right, or campaign, and ally with them to understand who they are and actually create and build and expand movements. So we learned a few lessons. I certainly learned a few lessons. And a lot of those I've tried to put into the book because I now have experience that other folks don't have. Literally more people have been to the moon than have done what I have done. And that has to change, right? If we want a more equitable and prosperous future for everybody. So one of the things I talk about in the book is what I learned about a life cycle. I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to start my own company and then, I'm going to work for myself forever. Well, the average life cycle of a company, unless you're smart like Ben and figure out how to keep doing it, is about 5 to 10 years, right? And so throughout this process, I describe the process. Most people don't know what that process is, and therefore they can't prepare themselves. And in every chapter, there is a speed bump. If you're a woman or a minority, or God help you both, what's about to happen to you? What's the terrible thing that might happen to you? And how do you navigate around it? And every chapter has an investor eye-opener. If you're the kind of person who says, I actually want to support diversity and inclusion in tech, and I know how powerful that is, there's something in there for you so that you can better support entrepreneurs in that position. Another thing I know, look, you are going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly in yourself and in your team. And you can't be an army of one. You have to find your Django Unleashed, posse to help you. And be prepared to ride or die and maybe die trying. I had to bring every single part of myself in order for us to succeed and survive. And that's true of everyone, in our team, that we really had to work hard, and therefore you want to make sure you have people whose integrity you trust beside you. Another thing we learned was that the startup experience is going to look different for him than it is for her. There's a lot of overlap. If you watch HBO's Silicon Valley, everything that happened to those guys happened to us, okay? So it's good, you should check that out. But look, we need to live in a world where both of these people can experience success, because if he can succeed and she can succeed, we all succeed, yes? Because we cannot solve the problems of the world if those ideas for solutions are coming from a small group of people with a very specific set of life experiences, yes? Okay, I'm glad y'all are with me. Here's what we need. We need more resources. So here's an example. There is no friends and family round if you are a technologist of color. You are already making the most money or near it in your family. And Peanut and Ray Ray are trying to borrow money from you, okay? Just keeping it very real. So you need, if you are an investor in particular, or if you're a startup founder, you need to know that you need to raise more money earlier on in order to get over that first hurdle. That's part of why I wrote the book, to provide more knowledge. There's so much more knowledge. If you're, grew up in a family where there's someone who's an executive, right? Or you have peers, who have executive experience. You just know by osmosis a lot more about the business life cycle than someone coming in, from a very different background. So I wrote this book to lower the barrier of entry, because I believe there's more impact through more opportunity. Look, diversity and inclusion in tech, it sounds nice, right? And we all think that, oh, that's a good thing, like I'm a good person. Look, it's not, it's partly about that. Yes, try to be a nice and good person, y'all. And I know you all, everyone in here is a leader. I know you're doing your best. But look, it's more than that. It is an economic imperative in an America that is going to look different, that is going to diversify, and in an America where 70% of everything is bought by women, right? We have to create more opportunity, because then we unleash amazing products, incredible apps, right? Game-changing services that can change the world. So here's what I'm doing about it. Okay, out of my experience with Attentively, I co-founded some years ago with Van Jones of CNN and Amy Henderson, Yes We Code. And Yes We Code aims to help 100,000 low opportunity youth of many colors to become high quality coders, because our jobs are dope, right? More people should know that and have them. I also wrote this book. Okay, it is my gift in a way, you know, and my lived experience and all of the advice that I have. You might be wondering what I'm doing now. I'm actually the CEO of Do Big Things, and the inspiration for the title of our company comes from this quote from a guy some of you may remember, I don't know. You know, and he said, America has been the story of ordinary people who dare to dream. That's how we win the future. We do big things. And so that's what I'm doing every day. We have an amazing team of creatives, of technologists, designers, developers, strategists. We do digital advertising. We do digital fundraising, email and social. We do digital products, infrastructure, apps, websites for causes and campaigns. We're actually working now on 2 different presidential campaigns, which, you know, because I'm insane, clearly, like that's crazy. And look, you know, among our peers, you know, who are doing work like that, you know, we look different, right? We are women-led, women-owned, and we are 50% people of color, including a majority minority development team. It's possible. It's possible. Thank you. So here's my challenge to you, y'all. What are you doing about it? There is more power in this cell phone than put people on the moon in your hand. And what I just told you was that more people have been to the moon than have done what I've done. We must change this. We must win the future. And, you know, I believe that the incredible lightning power of the people in this room can do that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to continuing the conversation.